It's been quite an interesting week, a week where we've seen the political temperatures rise, and they still continue rising. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm your host, Charles Otieno, alongside the esteemed ladies in black multi. Is it? That's what?
This is lace. Lace. This is lace. And this is Dr. C. And this is Samantha Wines. And we are saying cheers to Kenyans. We're about to start the festive season, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And Wanja, I can see you are top.
Ankara.
We are going back to our roots. You remember, I think Uhuru Kenyatta had a policy where people should wear Ankara or
Yes.
African fabric on a Friday.
Uhuru wa mashati.
Or he encouraged people to just wear decent clothing.
Those were nice days.
Yeah, so probably I'm sort of remembering the good old days. My name is Wanja. I'm going to keep it real today.
And I'm Maria Nyambane Waweru. I'm so happy to be here. I'm an author, love the original You and Marriage is a Scam. I also run a kids magazine. Oh, and I have a new book coming. You can't wait to see that. Let's kick the show here.
All right. So, the new book, is it a political book?
No, it's not actually. It's about
Romantic?
nannies.
Oh, nannies.
Yes.
Was I not supposed to write you something? And you excluded
I'm
me
not
out of...
excluded you. Today I'm holding you like this before you leave here.
No, yes, you're holding me. I want to write something.
All right, okay, let's get into the gist of this story today. For a long time, there's a senator known as Cherargei. I don't know.
We've discussed him before.
Yeah, there's Senator Cherargei has always been pushing this agenda of a 7-term limit. And the other week, I saw Senator Kiambu Karungo Adangwa saying that the four-year term limit. And it seems to have excited the political class. I don't know whether it has excited the masses, but from where I sit, I don't think it's the right way. But I don't know what you think.
I'll start with that because I think we've discussed this before. Before all this, everything that has happened, JKIA, finance bill, before that, I think last year we talked about this. And so politics removed aside, I remember I'm on record as having said, from just purely an economic point of view, just looking at the economy alone, yeah, I said that this economy cannot take 5 years. Kenyans are too engaged politically, like this politics captures our imagination, that we are not even able to move. And because of that, you find even the foreign investors, even business people are not able to make business decisions because you just don't know what is the next political establishment, what are they bringing in. It's the same thing with also revising every year these KRA rules that is so unstable for the business. I'm on record as having said, that was last year before we knew everything, that I have to keep repeating it, that it may not be a bad thing. Actually, we need perhaps maybe not 7, maybe 10, yeah? But you guys really came in. But now, knowing what we know, no, we stick to 5 years. Because you may just vote in someone and you just don't know. There's too many things that are very uncertain right now that I think so that the citizens want to be given an opportunity to make a choice. Either they vote in the same thing or change or vote out. So I retract my words. Yes, I retract my words.
Before I just speak, I want to speak on this one because I'm going to support Dr. C on the statement. You see the earlier one?
Yeah.
That is the one I support. They should go for 10 years.
Yeah, because the economy can't take it.
It's not even because of the economy. Anyone who comes, we are supposed to be doing the shika patapotea with the country. Like, if you come for 10 years and you make us happy, well and good. 10 years and you make us sad, we need to be getting used to this. Like, we get in and get used because Kenyans are very forgetful politically. You will not be shocked to see that they've suffered for 5 years and they will still want to suffer for another 5 years. So we will forget that what we elected, now we know what we know. We are supposed to go to the ballot thinking differently, but because we are forgetful, we'll still do the same thing. And we can even do, if it was 3 terms, we could have done even 3 terms. We forget. So it's better for 10 years whereby we've just put you there. Let's just see what you can do. And it's more like tuvumilie ama tufurahie. Like you just give us an option when we get into power. I feel like that is where we are headed to. Because if we say that, if we keep asking ourselves 5 and then after 5, we the Kenyans, go to the ballot and forget the 5 years and do it. So it's the same as having 10 years and just whoever comes next, 10 years, will you be good? Thank you. Will you be bad? After 10 years, we'll have someone else. That's how we are going to live as Kenyans now.
Wow. You know, Cherargei, you know, I particularly, you know, I remember there's a time I was on the other side of, at KTN, and we had a discussion with Cherargei where he was praising the IMF. And I remember just going right at him, and it was trending all over the social media. You know, sometimes these politicians make populist statements first for the sake of being a news item. Because I would imagine in a country where we have over 300 MPs and 67 senators, you want always to say something extremely outrageous so that you can become a news item. So I think Cherargei first, he's always looking for something outrageous to say so that he can become a media item. This issue of extending the term limits to 7 years, you know, sometimes it's psychological. The first time he said it, we were outraged, tulikasirika. He said it the second time, tumekasirika kidogo. And then the third time, and then it will be normalized. And that's how countries become outright dictatorships. Because now, before you know it, as you saw the voting patterns of the parliamentarians, they will say there's no need for term limits. We've seen it in Uganda. We've seen it in Togo, where the president has been there, I believe, for 30 years. We've seen it in Cameroon, where the president, when you can tell even walking is a problem, he's clinging on to pie, I think mtoto wake ni vice president or a very senior person. So for me, if we continue entertaining this issue here to extend, they are setting the pace and setting the mood in what now will become, let us remove the term limits. Yeah. In Kenya, a governor should, if akienda consecutive times, they should go for 2 terms. Then they will say, acha governor to 2 term limits. And that's how now in the future, as you've seen how they are doing with the political parties, you saw how the parliamentarians voted in the same pattern, then we will have no multi-party democracy, and therefore we shall be following a certain direction. Secondly, I think this political game has also is meant to fatigue us and to exhaust us. You remember when we were following the issue of the removal of Rigiji from the office, there was the issue of Adani, there's the issue of the term limit, the airport was going. And you know, Dr. C, it will be interesting you to know that it's not only JKI, it's all other airports in the country. So Moi International Airport in, I believe, Eldoret, Kisumu. So it's like all the airports that are under Kenya Airports Authority.
So, but when we get back into power,
but see you guys argued, we said we don't want, yeah. And they still got it, right?
Well, it's still in court, that Adani issue, but what I'm saying is that they'll fatigue us so much until we lose that fighting spirit. So before you know it, tutakuwa tu zile za, after all, washamwa. And we have had a history of dictatorship in Kenya. We had Moi for 24 years. And during that time, people were impoverished. It is after now Moi venye alitoka kwa government, that's when now Kibaki said, watoto waende shule. People would literally drop out of school wakiwa 36, 37 wasichana. So for me, I see that this constitution and the mechanisms meant to protect that, if we keep moving the clover, the seams, before you know it, ngo itararuka, and before you know it, tutakuwa tunaogopa, church leaders watakuwa naogopa hata kupreach, watu opposition watakuwa naogopa kuibiwa. You remember the Kitengela 3, the young men. So now with all that, we'll be subdued from all angles, and before you know it, we'll be in a dictatorship and we'll be the laughing stock of the whole world. And for me, I think it's a red flag through and through.
I think you guys have captured it, but I would say that my position has always been that Cherargei is bluffing. He's really bluffing, because if you've read the Kenyan Constitution, the bit of extending term limits is protected. And Cherargei and even Karungo Athang'wa is not telling Kenyans the truth, because you cannot you change that clause unless you go to a referendum. And when you go to referendum, the law states that you go clause by clause. There is no omnibus. You cannot say, the way they are lying to Kenyans, that we extend the presidential term limit to 7 years and then we bring governors and MCAs. No. The law is very clear that, and Cherargei should know because he's a lawyer. Sometimes it shocks me that a lawyer who has gone to school, who understands the term limits and the Constitution, the way it's written, and it's there in black and white. He knows the spirit of that Constitution. It says that for you, these are the protected clauses in our Constitution. These clauses cannot be changed by an act of Parliament, 1. 2, it has to go to the people the way BBI was taken to the people, and it shall be voted clause by clause. So I think that the government wants to hoodwink Kenyans to believe that they want to change the Constitution, yet there are very many big scandals which will be undergoing.
Like
so
Bill
that,
Gates,
yeah, so many things will be going on, but all Kenyans' attention will be focused on this changing the term limit, which cannot happen the way
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I like the way you're saying it's protected. Oh, it cannot happen.
Yeah.
Who is the gatekeeper? Who will ensure the courts are gone? There is no one. The courts are the ones we thought would protect us.
This one
IBC is not there.
You see, this is not public participation, the way they did it for Rigiji. This is a problem. There's a difference between public.
No, but who will be there to ensure? Who will be there not to vote out that clause of
the public?
But who will be there to ensure that if you don't do the way the Constitution says, who will be there to ensure? Who will ensure that? Look, it's not in the Constitution. Do you get what I mean? Like,
I get what you mean. You are saying
like, who will ensure? Is it the police? Who?
You see,
We the people.
it's about,
Yeah, we the people are the same people who are being confused so that they do some.
you see, that's why I'm saying, just read your Constitution.
Even if you read, what I'm saying is the gatekeepers are gone.
But now,
The courts are gone.
Article 1 of Constitution says what? All power
It's
Like
we
with the
the people.
people.
It belongs to the people. It's
belongs
we
to
the people.
and we are the state. So it is us as
So what
Kenyans.
will we do? Like, what are we going to do?
We have
We
rights
need
like
to vote.
picketing,
But you
we
know-
can do mandamano, we can
we
write
have all that.
petitions, we can go to public
Do not depend on
participation.
Yes, we can do all that, but remember one thing: the same people we can have. We people are the ones who will also be confused enough. Some even go to an extent of bribing and talking and sweet talking, all that, for us to do what? To turn against even that Constitution.
Do you think you guys, the way the economy is, and you bring that close by close to the public, and it has to be voted in every constituency, do you
Did
think
the
it will
Gen
pass?
Z get what they wanted when they were picketing?
Now, that's a different situation. We are change the Constitution. Changing the
Yes,
Constitution.
you see, my main worry is that the gatekeepers are not there. You see, that's why there's the document. And then there is who? We, the people, plus the people who are meant to ensure that the Constitution is not... Are you getting me?
No, get to like, I think what you are really, in my understanding, you're talking about the role of the opposition.
No,
who are like the people's watchdogs.
Opposition can do what
You
they
see the
want.
way election ABC was
today-
running the election. Right now, that Constitution, who would give us the name of those people? Like, let's say because you can't say it's court.
But
We
let
don't
me-
have a ABC.
You see, we've seen a lot of government officials just not obeying what the court has said. So even if the court says it's unconstitutional, what does it matter to a lot of other people?
Dr. C.
If they want to do it, they will just do it.
Dr. C, I want you to listen to me.
I'm
I want
listening,
you
but
to
you're not
listen.
answering me.
No, I just want you to listen. And I want you to separate what we've always been discussing and focus on only this one. We are saying that there's the spirit and the letter of the Constitution. We know it. And the Constitution is not read in exclusivity of certain parts. And we are saying that people are saying you can change. And all these problems you're saying, they knew when the people were writing the 2010 Constitution, they had envisaged that all our institutions will be
Compromised.
yes, by the executive. They had envisaged in the spirit of that. And they knew if we do not say that this area is protected, one, it has to go to the people and it has to be voted by the whole country like an election.
What assures us that it will be fair? It's a fair election.
And
Yeah?
It is the
that
people.
part.
Which
That
people are
part
you
of
talking
fair.
about?
That fair part is the problem.
I've understood everything you have said.
You see, the way you are saying that the Constitution is protected and we have the power. Remember, we are millions of us. Who is to say that there's going to be
Can I
fair
ask you
election
a
on that?
question? When we had BBI, did people vote or not?
Because the executive
No.
actually-
People
We are
voted
dealing with
or
People
not?
voted, but remember BBI, we had at least
different
the
forests,
opposition and
different
us.
monkeys
No,
right
I'm
now.
asking a question, a
Right?
simple question.
Yeah.
Did people vote?
Yeah. Yeah, there was public
And
participation.
did they vote for clause
Yes.
by clause?
They did.
And that's what happens in constitution.
So, CEO, you are telling us that you believe that that Constitution
I can
is
tell
guarded.
you without fear of any contradiction here. and
My
now.
big fear is the gatekeepers, the
I'm
people
telling
who are
you,
supposed to protect
even
the
those good,
Constitution.
even those gatekeepers.
If we win, who will tell us that we won?
I'm telling you, without fear of
Who will
contradiction.
ascertain the
Yes,
win?
who will ascertain the win? Who is counting?
So you guys have said
Who's
you're not
counting?
you're
Who's
not trusting.
observing? Not
Yeah, no.
we trust, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the
You
people
see-
who are, you see, like the court is supposed to be supreme. If people disobey court orders every day, every day.
Which people?
Anyway, moving, you know, this is a topic I don't think you're getting us.
No, I'm getting you. I'm just
I'm
telling
just saying
you.
that
I'm
the
just
people
I think
who are
it's a topic we will not
They're
agree
we
on.
trusting.
will not agree on.
And
Now
I'm
let's
just saying-
move on about how deep is your love for the country.
Anyway,
Love of country, but love
just
of
read
man.
the Constitution, please.
It's not about reading. I'm just saying, I agree with everything you're saying. But I'm just saying, even if you go for the election, even if you go for whatever, things are so wrong.
We are just saying
And
that
even
free
that
and
court-
fair is not there anymore.
Yeah.
You see, let me tell you, when Ruto nominated Kindiki,
Precisely.
I'm giving an example,
I think we
and
need
I want
more
to tell you why. Kindiki cannot be sworn in until the IBC is constituted.
Yeah.
Even if they try, it won't.
That's a smart move.
No, it can't be. I'm telling you, because
It's
this
the
is
law.
there in Constitution. Me, I know Constitution. Ruto
It's
will
not about
nominate.
the law, it's about the smart move of electing that one and waiting for
Ruto
IBC.
will nominate, but people are thinking that Kindiki would have been sworn on Saturday or next week. He can't be sworn in until IBC is properly constituted. It is IBC who will declare. That's it. And it's there written. And Ruto cannot override that fact. If he overrides that fact, the court will throw it out.
The court.
Yes.
Anyway, let's see how the Kashagwa thing goes. Anyway, let's talk about love. How deep is your love? So, this couple. Such a 360. But it's still the same thing. How deep is your love?
That's
Right?
a 360.
And there used to be a song. How deep is your love? You know that song? Na, 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 na. Anyway, my daughter will tell me, shut up, mommy. Anyway, so there's this guy dating, engaged this lady who was earning less. Soon, negotiations, everything. In Kenya, hapa, in this Kenya. Negotiations, dowry, everything. The wedding is about to happen and boom. You know, weddings bring all the good tidings. The lady gets a nice job, paying like 4 times more than she was earning, literally putting her in a higher pay bracket than the man. And suddenly the man is like, you'll have to leave that job, I'm sorry. You cannot earn more than me. Decide now and now. Hey, I hope she took off. And I can understand that. Did I say there was a time I almost like, forget the doctor, forget the what, there's this guy I love. I was when I was growing up, you know, I was like, oh, you're too educated. And I thought maybe, because the other girl he was dating was a nursery school teacher. I thought maybe I should become a nursery school teacher. I literally entertained the thought of becoming a nursery
Because
school
of
teacher.
love.
I don't know, it's just something. So what do you, where I am now, knowing what I know, I hope that girl took off, rudisha is on ng'ombe, rudisha, hata kama ni nini, like I hope so, but I can understand. I hope. What do you guys have to say?
We?
Yes, it can happen.
We? That girl, first and foremost, I really sympathize with her because it really is a big deal. But for me, I would say there's a lady I like. Her name is Sheryl Sandberg, who was once upon a time the COO of Facebook. I don't know her current job, but she's a very prominent woman in American, corporate world. And she said that the most important career decision a woman will ever make is in who she marries. It's not even anything else, and from there, like the trajectory of your life starts now from there. Who you marry will determine the mental health of you and your kids, the quality and the joy of your home, and so many things. So it is deciding who you marry is not merely butterflies, uko mrembo, uko mrefu, uko mweusi. It is more than that. It is deciding, by the way, this is how it's a career life-changing decision. If you see this kind of an individual behaving like this at the very onset, for me I see it as a red flag. Why? Because by the time the lady is getting a job that she's earning much more money, I would imagine the lady is educated and she's exposed. So based on the way the world is moving, it's like when I start hanging out with you and you guys all have masters, somehow too I'll just tell myself, by the way, within 2 years I'll be done with my masters. So that lady, based on her exposure, is likely to go higher in the education ladder, and naturally she's likely to earn more. So if the guy starts clipping her wings from the onset, it is now from there it will be every effort the guy will be doing is to put her down, Before you know it, he'll tell her stop working, start taking care of the children. So for me, I would say it's a life-changing career decision. And for the women even out there, there's a reason why, sometimes when people are telling us, our shoshos, our grandmothers stayed in their marriages forever and ever. Well, if that could be a truth, for me, I usually say, maybe they didn't have anywhere to go. They didn't have money. They didn't have ability to rent their own home outside of that matrimonial home. So for me, I would say, if you are a career lady and you see your prospects moving higher, just marry a person who is not intimidated by you. Because if it starts from that onset, it can only get worse.
Wow. If I was that lady, I would have run far, so very far. But this is the point. I tend to think that if a man gets such an opportunity, he will convince me to go with him. He will tell me, let's go. He will try his best to see how he can run the family, even when he is far away, if I will not move. He will try to at least try and be that responsible person who understands. Maybe she's working, or maybe I can, if I go with her, this and her life will not change drastically, or she'll be okay. But this man did not even consider going with the lady because apparently, do they call it toxic masculinity? Yes. He can't go with the lady. If the job was well paying, the first thing would have been, how can we navigate this relationship? But that one that tells you, leave that one, okay, run away, because that person does not have your interest at heart. And also another thing, there's nothing as bad as you leaving that job. And then 5-6 years down the line, the marriage becomes toxic. Where you will regret all your life choices. For real, if we have to think about work, actually this is one of the topic in marriages as scam finances, whereby I say, if you guys have to figure out what your finances and how you're going to live your life is, you have to have at least a common goal in life, and you have to talk about these things that may happen. there are so many occurrences that can happen. This is a lady who got a promotion and got so much income. There's someone who lost a job. There's someone who got a transfer, or there's someone who just had to move countries. Those are the things that they hurt the marriage in some extent, but there needs to be communication. But if someone will tell you to choose, that person does not love you.
You know, what I'm shocked is that in this age and time where there's no money, how would you say no to money? More money per se.
Insecurity.
Insecurity.
Even if it's insecurity, because what I'm wondering is that the whole story does not paint what I think the complexities. There are other things which are not being told in this story. Because for you, your wife has gotten a promotion, is going to earn 4 times the money she's earning, and you're saying no, don't take the job. There must be a reason why, which is not tied to the money.
It's low self-esteem.
And now, if you're marrying a man with low self-esteem, then what are you doing there?
You're loving that man enough to know that love exists.
But you know, I want to say something, just on what you're saying.
Yes.
If this decision came from the lady, like, okay, I've gotten this job, blah, 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 and she wants to leave it because she feels it may affect their relationship, the marriage, and people have left like very high-paying jobs.
As he was almost becoming a nursery school teacher.
Yeah. And by the way, I also even dare say that I moved from the company I was working because this guy had proposed, now my husband. I had to change the industry, move to another industry to allow me to make a clear decision, because I felt if I make a decision here, it may not be clear. So I changed industries, not because he moved me, he pushed me, but because I valued the relationship. And I wanted to know, am I making the correct decision, not based on pressure? Because you know there are times when there is pressure, and you cannot identify why are you making this decision. Is it because of the pressure, or is it because it's real? And sometimes it's difficult to differentiate.
It's true, because if this guy saying leave the money, you've been living in this house, you are using both incomes in this house. Now you have even more income. Don't you think there must be a different thing which you are not being told here? And that self-esteem can be one. But also there might be other issues in the play. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
But I know women make big sacrifices when they are loved right. So it could be they had issues initially that had nothing tied to the income.
But you know, we've seen women really sometimes, you know, there are people who are married to people who hate them. Like we've seen,
someone who hates you.
Yeah, we've seen instances like, you know, when you speak to women, the women who will tell you they actually even go to further their education, but secretly.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Don't leave that man. There's no option. Yeah, but all I know is that a woman who is loved right will always make a little bit of sacrifice, or at least communicate. So anyway, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back on Let's Be Real.
Welcome back. Of course, we've had a very interesting topic about politicians, about money and love and affection and the self-esteem issues. Now, this woman, Wanja, you want to tell us about her? Or is Maria? Maria, tell us about this.
Maria has the tea, yes. Our dear viewers, we all know that in this show, CEO is the one who is the proudest supporter of polygamy.
I am, 100%.
Good. Now, there's this woman, after 26 years,
100%.
husbands. One 26 years married, the other one 10. On the 12th year of their marriage, she went and told the husband, I need another husband. And the husband was very supportive. You see, the husband was very supportive. The way women should be supportive when you want another wife. Good. Now, this woman went and got another husband. And she actually would be okay to have a third wife. Okay, me first of all, I am in support of that, clear enough.
But now I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think?
And CEO should support it because, you know, polygamy is a good thing, right?
I think I'll let Dr. C say. Let me first recover from the shock of 2 husbands.
2 husbands. First of all, it's human rights.
Yes.
And I'm still together with Millie Odhiambo, and she says she's fighting for the concept.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, sometimes what we consider as normal in humanity. So if you're drawing a graph like that, this is the median. Nasema this is the normal human behavior. Forgetting there's na kuna hiyo.
Outliers.
Umeona hiyo graph?
Yeah.
Yeah? So let's say these are women, these are men. Or most women here, some may not marry, then others will actually marry, those are the majority, others will actually marry and want more men. And so what am I saying? That there's nowhere actually in the Bible for Christians, and I think even in, but let me talk about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone comes to lynch me, if I talk about
I'm listening.
There's nowhere in the Bible where the Bible actually condemns polyandry. Like you're married to one man and you feel, okay, I love him, but maybe I could get another. So rather than going out there and cheating, when I'm later, I'm trying to think.
But actually, let me interrupt you. It's also very obvious and evident. You cannot get everything from one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make it? So there's women. Do we agree that there's women in marriages who are cheating?
Yes.
It is true, but also
Yes.
the Bible does not talk about polyandry because it had not envisioned it.
Well, but there's adultery. The Good Samaritan.
Yeah, there's
You remember the
because
Good Samaritan
polyandry
who was
is
living, in fact, with her 6th husband.
yeah, but that's why I'm saying this polyandry, the way marrying 2 wives, is not even recognized. Even Bible didn't envisage it.
Like it's unbelievable.
Yes.
But it envisages adultery.
Yes.
So I think this woman is just being practical in the essence of human liberation. Let's just say within that same Bible you're talking about, there were times when you could actually literally see women being not so human rights. Huh? So what am I saying? I'm saying that if women are actually committing adultery within a marriage, and there's this one who has said, you know, there are these, you've heard of these office husbands, whatever.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Somebody goes to the office and there's this office husband and there's the home husband. And this thing can go on for years. For years. A relationship is going on for years. She has a husband, he has a husband, a wife, whatever. So this woman is just being courageous and saying, you know what?
Cheating
I want him
openly.
here. Mm-hmm. It's not even cheating.
Yeah,
there's no cheating.
It's
I
actually,
want both of you in the same house and in the same bed.
Okay, Wanja, what I say?
I think for me, I would say this: when a dog bites a man versus when a man bites a dog. The reason why we are talking about huyo Mkenya wetu, it is because what she has done.
Hiyo Mkenya atashikwa. It's illegal.
Yeah.
Polyandry is illegal in Kenya.
Yeah, but her name is Kenya.
Yes.
Oh,
so, her name is Kenya.
Her name is Kenya, no Maria namuita Mkenya wetu. So this lady, the reason why we are discussing her, it is because it's mtu ameuma dog, sio dog imeuma mtu. Otherwise this is not
a big deal.
Otherwise this is such a big deal that it has even been covered in the media, and that's why we are discussing her. In my view, I'll just look at it this way. Especially in our traditional African society and setup, as much as we try to be so modern and modernized, there's just those gender roles that are in our homes. The women are supposed to do these particular roles, particularly attached to childcare, nurturing of the home, and what have you. And then the men, normally in our traditional setup, is just to provide, to be generally around, to do a few things, and to refuse to go to the school visiting days. Now, honestly, I feel like this lady has done something outrageous, And I wonder how sustainable that relationship will be in the next 5 years or 10 years. Because now I'm imagining she'll have to nurture both. She'll have to be like, to be serving two masters. I wonder how sustainable that relationship
Actually,
is.
she has been serving the two masters for 10 years now, let's say, because the second husband came 10 years ago. Yes. Now she's considering the third one.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Hey, Kenya is quite interesting.
That is the total madness I've ever had. And
Of course, you're a man.
Of course, you're a man.
It is preposterous to think that a woman can have two husbands. It's also unbelievable that we can entertain such thoughts.
But we entertain men having two wives.
Do you agree that women cheat?
Women can cheat.
So you allow them to cheat but not marry again?
Women can cheat, but there's something about the sanctity of a home. The sanctity of a home and
In
sanctity.
the way you define it.
Yes, no.
That's why we drew the graph, by the way.
This
It's
sanctity
normal
of a home
sanctity.
is determined
And then
by how you look at
Yeah.
the two men. And I'll cut that woman some slack. I'll say the two men are stupid.
That's it, right?
They're in
They
love.
are stupid because every man, and even the Bible says, you must establish a home. It says that a man will look for a woman, they'll establish their home. Is not that?
And who told you they're Christians?
I'm not, and
Maybe
forget
there's
even
Zoroastrians or whatever it
there are
is.
other things, but even in African traditional setting, because most of the Bible is actually, most of us written from the Old Testament, from African setting. It is how we lived, how our cultures dictated. You cannot be saying that now this man is doing the thing, you are lying here, the other one is coming. It is just, it's just stupid, outright stupidity.
I don't think that it's the same. I think it's the same as polygamy, CEO, whereby one wife has this side, the other one has this one.
Polygamy had been thought about, structured, and well put together. The people who defined polygamy would have seen that deficiency in the society to say that even women from where they sit, some of them have high libido to be satisfied by only two men. They would have envisaged it. If they hadn't envisaged it,
But times have
I
changed.
told you that.
Times have changed. Now there is the high libido is here. We need to solve that situation at the moment.
Maria, can you have two husbands?
Maybe this woman, she falls in love with a certain type of a man. Because most men are, as we know, they're animals. They're territorial.
Yeah.
Okay? So in one level, I understand what you're saying. Most men are territorial. But there's just a certain caliber of men who are not territorial.
Yeah, they don't
So
care.
maybe she kind of likes the kind of men, and she
that are okay with.
that are okay with. And remember, it's not the norm. We're not trying to say it's the norm.
There are so many
just-
things that are not normal. Like last week we
Right?
talked about the pod of babies.
Yes.
So most things
You
are
see,
not normal.
that abnormality we should not be telling on the national television that people think that is the right thing. Women cheat, and when they are discovered that they're cheating, you can tell you the turmoil which is in those homes are crazy. People cheat for the thrill of it. They don't cheat, and this difference at because you like or what. Some of others just cheat because her friend is cheating, and there's a man I like, I can cheat. And let me tell you, these men who find their husband, their women cheating, when they say it's over, those women, the narrative is the same. The woman always wants to come back. There's no single woman who has ever said, I was cheating with this man because I like him. When you tell him, okay, now go to where you are cheating.
But men do the same.
It's the
I
same.
am cheating. You
And
say
we are
come
not
to your
talking
wife.
about men cheating. We're talking about women. They are getting two husbands because of cheating. And I'm answering you on those parameters. And for women, for men, it's like cheating, we have always said, is a poor man's polygamy. If you understand, if you are a real man,
That's a quotable quote that will be put in my t-shirt.
cheating is poor
a
man's
poor man's
polygamy.
polygamy.
But for cheating is a poor man's polygamy.
But a woman cheating is not a poor woman's polygamy.
What's cheating?
No,
Poor
it's
man's
because we
polygamy.
cannot afford to come straight and say, Dr.
So do
C,
you
I want
consider
to.
a mistress a cheating?
That's a poor man's polygamy. You just have her there.
Francois Mitterrand was not poor, but he had a mistress, and there was a budget for the mistress. Now, the former mistress is the Queen of England.
It is true that some
and
people...
it was cheating. It's not, but I hear what you're saying.
I'm talking about poverty. And why I'm saying poverty, because a rich man can have 2 wives and the wife will not complain.
I would complain no matter how much money you have.
I'm telling you.
No
If you're a rich man,
you have.
the rich men have no problem with marrying 2 wives. Even their wives, when they hear this man is having another woman, and say, najuanga lakini ni sawa tu. You be poor and start, or you have little money and start saying at you, oh, I'm bringing another chick there. You will be burnt alive.
No, I feel like even if you have a lot of, it depends on the standards of a person.
If you're rich,
you would
think
decide that
okay.
I will not be a first wife to a second wife. Okay, is that even making sense? I don't need another wife in my home. It's for you to decide. So if you decide that I am not going to be part of this cheating game that is going on, or I'm not going to be part of this marriage that is coming up, it's your choice. Because I don't think, no matter how much money you have, I would allow you to have a second wife. And it's not because of the money, because you're not with me because you don't have money. That feels like I'm with you because I don't have money. When I get money, I'll add a wife.
Okay, and okay, but Maria, you know that that man will tell you if you want to leave, it's okay, eh?
That's okay, then I will leave.
Yeah.
Because he will not allow me to have a man too.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. These men with money will tell you, are you willing to stay? Or are you willing to leave?
And women should start looking for their own money. So
and the other men, the other women, there are some who will leave and others will stay.
Most of the women who are not empowered will stay. Because you'll be like, what will the kids eat?
No, you see, you're not empowered here, even with knowledge.
Yeah.
Because now, this is where, now when you're signing that certificate,
Yeah. You imagine.
marriage, make sure your name is everywhere. especially if
Everywhere,
he's a rich
yes.
man. And then when akianza vitu kama hizo, you ask for a divorce, you get half.
Half of
And
everything.
especially when you have children, you get half of what he has. Unaweka hapo. And then now your children will go and get like a portion of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the
because they
only
have
way
their
to
father.
deal.
That's the only way to deal.
It's
And
the
that's why
only
we
way.
say marriage certificate is very important. And everything should have both your names in it.
Yes.
Hata half. Wacha alete bibi mwingine
I
na hiyo
know
half
men
yake.
who are not even divorcing because of that.
And you
will
know-
not bring another wife.
and you know
or even
that-
let
Yes,
just
and you-
because they know them become.
And you know the
half-
worst thing about that is what? The fact that we met. This is the wealth we have. We've grown wealth together. Put to both names. Because when you grow wealth, apparently that is when you realize
Maria,
that
let me
I'm not
shock you.
poor, I need another wife.
Let me shock you that all us men, we have a lot of secret wealth which we don't know.
That's why I will ensure you give me 3/4.
Yes.
Not,
And then when
there's
the
no
quarter
single
that
man
remains-
even here, there's no single man who has bought everything that the wife knows.
Are you talking? What do you mean single? My husband is a man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine too.
So what are you talking about?
You will find out.
No, it's different. It's different. See, you
You find
maybe.
out.
You maybe.
You find out. You will be
Put
shocked.
things in my head. I think we need to be more aware.
Now,
You think men are that stupid?
guys,
It's not about being stupid. It's about.
We don't
being
put
faithful
everything in
a
the
marriage.
name.
yeah, speaking
Others we put in our brothers' names, others we put in other people's names.
See, speaking of getting away with secret wealth and getting away with to my future,
Yeah.
you are not going to get away from KRA. Why? Because in the little side hustle you run, they are going to be spying and put the e-teams tax system on your pay bill, on your till number. In future, even if you know, they will be monitoring your M-Pesa statements, and before you know it, there's a housing levy that the court said it's good for all of us.
It's okay, but I can tell you, I know some people who are running an M-Pesa account by their dead mother's phone. Yeah, everything is in the dead mother's account.
There's a death certificate.
Yeah, and the death certificate is there. But the transaction is in that number. Men are very clever out here nowadays. Hii ni yake na hii ingine.
But I hope none of them will harm their mother, and with the hope that they'll inherit the SIM card and do the same.
So it has been real, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we end it there.
And the festive season is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samantha Wines, now available in all the leading wine stores.